On the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start dropper. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Look at Johnson! Haven't got it!
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start dropper. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it! Big Barry!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Saturday Night's All Right here on the JP Broadcasting Network. It's the Racers Elite Series League running in for Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we're looking at a nice 100 laps around this mile-and-a-half oval here at Atlanta. Of course, my name is Brad, and of course we got Dean here with me, Mr. Biggles running the cams and adding just some spice, some flair, some flavor. That way you don't just have to listen to my voice drone on and on throughout this entire qualifying and racing event. Mr. Biggles, how are you doing on this fine Saturday evening?
Lord, or Your Majesty, or whatever we'll do at the moment. Yes, I am. Thank you very much there. I hope, my family's heritage hasn't got a castle in England for nothing. Well, it's more of just a ruins keep, but it'll do. But here at Atlanta, sweet home, Alabama, Atlanta. It's not Alabama, it's Atlanta. It rhymes anyway. We're going to be getting ready for one of our other fantastic rounds here for the Gen 4's Round 6 in this Racers Elite Mix Series. Of course, there's many Racers Elite Series that are throughout the week, and you can also follow all that information. That should be in the description, of course, there. And if it's not, we'll get that one in there. So you can get this one. This is like a Saturday night time for motor racing, time to have some fun, and time to get it on around this classic super speedway.
Yeah, Racers Elite have done really good with setting up this league. They do their Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night leagues and run those. And those are the real serious, the real get down and gritty, get your dedicated car, your track setups, and really prove yourself there. And then they just want to unwind on Saturday night. Just a night with the friends, have some fun, and just jump in and run through. And that's what this Saturday night is about. Saturday night, all right.
Oh, but, yeah, there you go. I was going to say.
Yeah.
Right on board with Joshua Neal. Give us a hot lap around old Atlanta.
Yeah, so Atlanta here, as we watch Joshua Neal coming out of turn 4 here. Coming around, you come down the main stretch, and again, it has that sort of Charlotte feature, like D shape. So you have the tri-oval through. You're going to come around turn 1 here, turn 2, and it's just, this is flat. It's a 1.5 mile track. I don't think I need to explain Atlanta Motor Speedway for a lot of people, but for those of you curious, it's flat around turns 1 and 2. There's a slight off shape there. You hit turn 3 here, just again, whole key to these hot laps is just tuck it in the corner and tuck it down low on that white line. Hold it flat. You're going to come back out here and do a, I don't know if you want to call it a tri-oval. I've heard people call it multiple things through, but you come out main straight, back around here. Joshua Neal back down into turn 1 again. And Joshua Neal setting in a decent little time there. Good enough for P3 at the moment here in qualifying. And of course, they do have 2 laps to set, and that's all they get to set through. So Joshua Neal has set both of his laps a 31.571. Currently finds him on 3rd place. That'll be P2 on the grid. We still got a few cars out and about trying to set laps, though. Brendan Pufferbarger currently coming around in that number 5, trying to throw some times around, and is currently 31.586. The field's very, very close, and the practice times were all within about half a second of each other in those practice times. So the qualifying times we should see fairly close as long as drivers can get good laps in.
I hope I'm going to see Ian Campbell's car at the moment because it looks all white. We'll see if we can fix it up in the background, unless that's actually the livery he's determined that one. From is that Burlington? I don't know all the parts of the estates there, but it looks like the Milwaukee Mile driver at the moment. He is going to be trying to get it on here in Atlanta. He's sliding himself up into P4 at the moment, and I just realized Joshua Neal, of course, is racing, and he just took that one away there from Josh, so he's pushed you down to P5. Oh,
yeah,
watching through Matthew.
Matthew Jarrett, that's probably not the way to finish a qualifying lap. And also, just to answer your question there, I think it was Ian that you were worried about the livery on. Ian's car is indeed white.
Wow, because the picture's not showing that one, but there you go. Well, no, it's loaded. I had to refresh it. There's the 23. That's Austin Smith. Actually, no, it could be. We'll see the other driver. There's there it is. So the only 2 drivers left actually to put any times in. I think that's it. Anyway, done and dusted. You said qualifying is over, and it is over just like that. Blink and you miss it. Not here.
Yeah, qualifying moves pretty quick here when you've got just 2 laps, and a lap is about 30 seconds. So things move real fast. I'm still seeing, I think I see some drivers out on track still. I think Matthew Jarrett is still out there trying to put in a time. At the moment, we're not completely through, but man, Matthew Jarrett struggling out of turn 4 there to hold on to grip and try to get in a good time. Coming around, currently going to start P12 if you can't put in a lap. So drivers have about 5 minutes left here, Biggles, and it's the big thing with the iRacing qualifying. It's 10 minutes or 2 laps, whichever one comes first for you. And for them, it's looking like it is going to be the 2 laps that settle everything up.
I'd say so. They're about 6 minutes and change into this one. So if you can't get 2 laps done in that time, Mr. Matthew, from Fort Wellington Beach, Florida, and you can see go out to the fence there, cut it down the inside as you explained a little bit earlier. Let the car slide in there, maximum speed. You don't want to lose any traction. It's like we've all been on go-karts, right, in the past. You know, in that little go-kart track. Remember when they're sliding, right, and it's friction? And in go-karts, of course, you are allowed to do that. Sometimes it's going to be good because it's a shorter track. But if you do it so much on a longer track like this, and there's banking corners, scrubbing equals losing speed. So you want to minimize that as much as possible. See what Matthew Jarrett can do for his first time of the evening.
Yeah, I'm not registering times for Matthew Jarrett here, which is kind of confusing me.
Yeah, same
I'm
here,
not
sir.
sure what's happening.
No, 188, 189. Reaches 190 miles per hour. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the little indicator up there at the moment to show you exactly the speed that old Matty's doing. And no, nothing registered actually, quite surprisingly. Kinsley Smith is out there, the North Carolina driver. Is the number 15 machine is also doing similar things, but they're quite surprising as you said about those lap times. And I love the fact that you're looking at the RPM meter being upside down. No, you're not in Australia. It's just the best way for the drivers to actually see the key. Because, I mean, if you're looking at yourself at anything past 10,000 RPMs or anything below 1,000 RPM, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, and the thing is with these drivers, they really don't need to see the higher RPMs. It is truly, that is the range they need to see, and with how they sit with the steering wheels, everything essential is going to be in that little cutout on the steering wheel. It's kind of similar to how your road car should be set up. And if you're having to look and lean and do things in your road car to look around your steering wheel to see your speedometer, your RPM gauge, your gas gauge, anything like that, you should probably try adjusting your steering wheel sometime. Little road tips here from your friendly neighborhood Brad to help you get set up.
Well, Bradley, that's a good question, actually, because there was I did a little snippet at the moment. Andrew Tapp's going to back off, of course, the boss man at the moment there, who is, well, plump last, really, for time. Not plump last, because Sean and Matthew have not set a time. The rest of the drivers have. We'll get those grid up here for a second, but going back to that really quickly, I was asking the other day, like, you know, why do they put like 120, 140, 160 miles per hour on, you know, your road cars when A, you're not really legally allowed to go that speeds, and B, most cars can't reach those speeds, so forth or even higher. It's basically just as more of a, I mean, you can look this up, but it's more of a sales pitch thing. It's like, you know, I mean, what are you going to do? Leave half a, it just looks good, doesn't it? Like, you know, do you want, if you were to go look at your dash, the speedometer of a car, and it only goes to 80? Wow. Oh, I don't want to buy that. This other one over here goes to 200. Look at that. So I'm buying that one. You know, at the end of the day, it's just a visual thing. Unless you beef the car up.
Yeah, it's one of those that it's very visual, and it's also, it just looks so much better. Now, if you buy like an old Ford truck or old Chevy truck, those speedometers and those may only be registered to 80 or 100.
Yeah, you can crank them over a lot more, that's for sure, right? As most people have.
Right.
Because they didn't think about the marketing back then, because there was like 20 other company cars all cars to purchase at that time. You had like a choice of 2 or 3. Anyway, we're waiting.
Also,
go ahead.
Who is going to take a square body Chevy and go 80 miles an hour in it?
Well,
not me.
I mean, we are in truck series as well too, isn't it? I mean, we got to go down to the birthplace of where motorsports started in the United States of America, of course. And, you know, even though I do a bit of role playing, my dear friend, you know, the Wild West of Red Dead Redemption, well, even though in horses that they had back at the time, but, you know, moonshining was the key to why trucks were fast. Well, why they beefed them up, of course, isn't it? Like they beefed them up to outrun the police to get away as quickly as possible. And that's truth, and it's a key to why you want to get sheer horsepower behind these machines, which is the very reason why the United States has sheer grunty power machines, which we love.
That is why NASCAR started. That is a lot of the birthplace of motorsports was Shine Runners. So, hey, history class with Biggles here.
Well, you banned the booze, my friend. Didn't happen to stray. You banned the booze. There would be like riots everywhere, of course, like that. You don't need to overthrow the redcoats trying to, like, you know, taxation without representation. Yeah, no. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's proven that don't take alcohol away from people. Drink responsibly. Grid coming up for you right now before we get too much into politics.
Jumping onto this Racers Elite Mix Series, round 6 here in Atlanta. The grid, AJ Coffin will be in the provisional P1 spot here. Brandon Sanfilippo will be P2 from the Carolinas, not too far off there. And then Ian Campbell, P3. Austin Smith, 4th place there. Kinsley Smith going to start 5th. Joshua Nealon, 6th. Corey Crowell, 7th. Brandon Pufferbarger will be 8th. John Schlonblocker will be 9th. Dennis Kane, P10. Truth Hoke and Andrew Teft, 11th and 12th, respectively. And then the only 2 drivers that didn't put in the time here is Sean Merriman and Matthew Jarrett. We'll be rounding out that back row here. 7 rows, 14 cars, and 100 laps of action. Sorry, 105 laps of action.
Yeah, you got the
getting ready to come our way.
And what's curious is that white machine as well. So that is actually the livery. I should mention that's Ian Campbell. It's not, I think, the number 12 machine. Just playing with his food a little bit. He said, look, you know what? I believe that adding a few extra stickers and stuff like that to the car adds weight. So let me just go bare knuckle of a little light coat of white paint, and let's see if that's going to pay off there for Mr. Ian Campbell.
Hey, listen, every 10th you can shave off is important. So very, very good choices there, and definitely gives us something to look at.
They've
and
done
look
it in
at this.
Formula
Look
1.
at AJ.
In Formula 1. They've done it in aircraft as well, too.
Yeah, that is true.
American Airlines or whatever like that didn't paint half the plane there because they feel that it saved X amount of extra weight per year. Anyway.
Yeah,
got another
save
history
weight,
level.
save paint. It's all important. It all adds up at the end of the day.
Now, what's the key here? Do you feel, how long are the drivers going to go on their fuel load, on their tires, and pace cars, of course? Well, the pack of 14 or so, you'd imagine. 13 actually. It doesn't look like Sean has managed to get in there. So down to 13. Any advantages, strategies? What would you do? Would you take it easy, just glide on by there? Is it beneficial to be leading there, or switcheroo? Curious.
Early on, I'd rather lead. I'd rather stay out of the mess. I would like to be nice and relaxed, but the drivers are going to tell you the strategy here because we are green, and
And that's not the best way to tell you a strategy off the bat. Is that fact he's going to collide into the safety car that's pulled into the pit road, and that's going to cause a collision immediately. I don't know. In all the times I've been casting oval racing, my dear friend Bradley, I have never seen a lead car bin it into pit road with off even to the first turn. Really?
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. I'll tell you right now, there's a radio call. One of the drivers just told AJ, hey, you're supposed to go left at a corner, not on the straightaway. But look at this. I mean, it's just, I don't know if he broke traction or what happened, but the car just If we weren't in a simulator, I would tell you that that's a suspension failure.
And he heads almost, see, there it is. He heads back into pit road at that point, almost taking out the pace car. We'll go back and have a look at that one again too, because we'll go on board. Of course, and we have the fantastic world of slow motion. So we can go into the cockpit. God, you think AJ at the moment's going to be very embarrassed about this, but let's go. You want to go full speed and just see what happens?
Yeah, he's not going to. He just broke traction.
I'll have to back it up a little bit.
Yeah, back it up there, because watch that RPM gauge that we talked about being upside down. Just watch it.
Call this one. We'll go full speed.
Yeah, so here we go. So we're coming out of turn 4. Pace car is going to pull in. AJ's setting things up, and this has been just a calm pace lap. Nothing crazy's gone on, but here we go. He's going to come into this left-hander here, and watch his RPM gauge just snap. Rear end snaps out, and he's a passenger at that point. And then he's lucky that he caught it right there and was able to brake with the little bit of pit lane he had, because really the grass in iRacing is like ice, and it's a wonder that he didn't just slide right in. But yeah, so he is very, very fortunate to have caught that on. But now we get set with Brandon Sanfilippo up in the lead. It says he's the number 14, but he's got that 44 livery on, the Hot Wheels livery. Absolutely love it on these Gen 4 cars. And we'll set up with Ian Campbell in row 2. And AJ, unfortunately for our pole sitter, is now reserved back into 13th place. Austin Smith 3rd. Kinsley Smith 4th. Joshua Neal 5th. Corey Kraut will be 6th. Everybody just kind of slots their way up a position. Brandon Pufferbarger will, of course, start 7th. But I guess we can just toss that to a warm-up, Biggles, and the drivers get another chance at a restart here.
I was going to think we could probably, next time around, we might pull AJ into the, if we can, another caution, we'll pull him in for a quick yarn about what happened. I mean, he's probably very embarrassed about it, but green. Barney's elected that let's go racing again. So, all right, now, Brandon, you are the leader at the moment. Don't hit the gas pedal too, lad. And at the back there, some of the drivers are. Here we go, racing.
All right, we're back racing here in that number 44/14 on the inside with Campbell on the out. Wants to try to find a run.
Yeah, I had a major malfunction at the moment, my dear friend. I think that I've been disconnected and connected again there from the session. So we might have a bit of a problem with those pitches. Unfortunately, iRacing, as you know, doesn't, even as a spectator, well, I'm not treated, I mean, treated as a spectator, but of course, if I'm accidentally a split second out of the session, it treats me like a driver more than anything. You know, I'm not.
Right.
So I'm going to have to rejoin. That, unfortunately, will have to just give us a little bit of a breather at the moment. We'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still slot chopper. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry.
All right, well, while the broadcast is trying to rebroadcast, we're going to do this some classic Gen 4 NASCAR Sirius XM style of doing just some nice radio broadcasts. So as we come around turn 4 here, coming on the main straight here, it's Corey Crowell in the lead, Austin Smith P2, Kinsley Smith P3, and these top 3 cars are keeping each other very, very clean. It's single file racing here. Coming around turn 1 into turn 2, and now they're going to keep things single file. Kinsley Smith third, Austin Smith second, Corey Crowell first. And you see Kinsley Smith trying to take a peek around the outside, but it's going to be Austin Smith diving down the inside into turn 3, going around the inside of that number 20 of Corey Crowell, going to bring it side by side. Who can get the slip out of 4, and who can hold on and keep the pace advantage? It looks like coming through it is going to indeed be Austin Smith. That is going to still be on that inside trying to challenge against Corey Crowell. Side by side, they stay through turn 1, and Kinsley Smith wants to try to take it 3 wide, but just isn't close enough to get in there and get in the mix. Austin Smith is going to get a little loose here. Side by side, still Corey Crowell and Austin Smith as they go around. And Biggles, I believe that our pictures are back. So what you've missed during the past couple laps is these top 3 drivers being very, very competitive in their races. And that number 20 loves that outside line and to hug the wall and is keeping a lot of pace there. Corey Crowell is a very, very fast driver. Ooh, it's a moment almost with Kinsley Smith as we come down this main stretch, and they are driving T formation.
And
that
fence,
number 20
Corey.
too close to the fence. Corey Crowell.
I'm not an expert at oval racing, but I do know, like anywhere, you hit the fence, my friend, and you don't buy it flowers, you're in big trouble. He's got to drive down a P6 at the moment. But there he is, live pictures, so I apologize for that one. I'm not quite sure what happened. The dingo ate me internet cable or something like that, but it is what it is. Austin's leading, 3 positions gained, and then Kinsley, and then the other 2 pack there of Ian and Brandon. Corey's gone in. I think he's got too much damage on the car, so I'd like to take an early pit stop. Here we go. Let's get racing.
Back racing. I'm very, very glad to have us back racing here. Kinsley Smith and Austin Smith are not going to give each other any breathing room here. The Milwaukee versus the Napa. It seems like a very, very classic battle in these Gen 4 cars. And they're going to keep things going around. Lap 13 to 105. So just everybody holding on here. And just trying to go single file. The drivers are staying pretty relaxed here, and they are just wanting to hold things together. Look at this, though, that number 12 of Campbell against that number 14/44 of San Filippo, and is just not going to settle down. Those two going side by side. Look at this, that number 44 on the outside. You see it is the 14 on your screen, and is going to get the run out of 2 there, and is in place to go ahead of Ian Campbell. So Ian Campbell opting for the more relaxed approach here, I think, and just saving a little bit of tires, saving a little bit of time, wants to go for the long run and just stay relaxed. Now, the drivers do have 4 sets of tires. They have the set they started on and 3 tires they can pick and choose. And who's that snapping out of there? Was that Joshua?
Yeah, that's no, it's Andrew. Andrew Teffico is the boss man, snapping a little bit of oversteer and understeer and all sorts of stuff as he's chased down by Joshua, the 82 machine behind him. So keeping it fast, keeping it fun. And that's what it's all about here on Saturday nights. And there's 2 up the road there for Austin and Kinsley. And of course, Brandon and Ian. And that's the thing about, I was going to say, what number is Brandon? Well, Ian, well, what number is he? Can't read it on the car. You can cheat and look at the left-hand side. But anyway, this is it. Austin's Kinsley Smith time to chase down the leader. How beneficial would it be for him to overtake him anyway?
Yeah, Smith versus Smith here. And as we've talked about, these Smiths aren't related, but these Smiths are going to push each other real hard up in the front of the field, because when you got Smith or Smith trying to lead, at the end of the day, one of the Smiths are going to lead. It's just a matter of which Smith is the better Smith. And I will tell you that Smiths will Smith around to Smithy their way forward into the lead. As we go through, we're starting lap 17. It is indeed the number 23 of Smith. Austin Smith, that is, leading Kinsley Smith. But Kinsley Smith has a lot of pace here, Dean. And Mr. Biggles, as you know, he will push forward. Kinsley Smith has won one of these Saturday nights before and is going to continue to try to move forward. And if you want the best seat of the house to watch this P1 and P2 battle of the Smiths, it is going to indeed be Brandon Sanfilippo, who has the best seat in the house and is honestly starting to reel these front two in.
Yeah, he's got his popcorn early, hasn't he? He's literally, Corey's come out of pit road, got the fastest lap at the moment, but he's all alone. Yes. I'm looking at your notes right now. I'm not seeing highlighted Smith. I don't know if you actually prepared that in advance, but here we go. Look at Brandon's pace and that fence, Brandon. Stay out of the fence, or you'll be seeing Brandon. Santa Claus early. You won't be getting any Hot Wheels toys, and that will be Ian Campbell. Shut the power down on the outside there, and snatched that one away and said, there you go, a little coal in your stockings there for hitting the fence. And then over here, of course. And then what is Swift? Smiths and Brandons, because now there's Brandon Puffenberger at the moment there for the machine there, going to go high up in the fence. Hey, stay away from that fence, because you just saw what happened. No, he's not going to listen to me, and he's going to have to go low. And at the moment, and hey, lows. That's what you. Hey, I can't script this any better, honestly.
I don't think. Did you prepare that one, Biggles? Because I don't see that one highlighted either.
Wow. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Anyway,
you know what?
Go ahead.
That works entirely too well. And for those of you who are NASCAR fans, I don't need to introduce this livery that Mr. Brandon Puffenbarger is running. But for those of you a little less familiar, that is, of course, the classic Jimmy Johnson Lowe's livery. And it is beautiful. It is perfect. It's my favorite car livery from what was my favorite NASCAR driver, and is still probably my favorite race car driver. Just ousting myself a little bit. So little bit of a pain there to see it in the wall. But Andrew Teft is not having any pain here. Watching Joshua Neal go around the high side there. But Andrew Teft, I tell you what, he's got that car set up real loose. And they tell you a loose race car is a fast race car, but man, a loose race car is a lot to handle. Andrew Teft tries to do the switchback, switcheroo, depending on what you want to call it there, on that number 82 of Joshua Neal. And Joshua Neal is going to just slot right back in. Andrew Teft, up into P5, boss man here at Racers Elite, is trying to be the boss and move his way forward here. He really needs the cars behind him to just work with him.
I think that
form a little bit of a switch.
It's that setup you mentioned at the moment, isn't it? They're feeling comfortable in some of the turns. They can turn in there. The rear slides a little bit. That's okay. Get used to loosey-goosey. Sometimes gets all the geese, all the eggs, and can't remember. You can see that. And then, of course, roll in reverse around there. So willing to give that position. Of course, we got further in the field there at the moment because there is a challenge for P3 with Ian, the no paint scheme number 12 machine at the moment. And, of course, Andrew Teff a little bit further back, but that is that little three-way squabble because Austin Smith, there he is, all alone. Hello, Austin. Yes, there is cars behind you. That's one of them. And then go back to this squabble. So, yep, Kensley and Austin, the Smith brothers, well, not brothers, of course, but the Smith names are up the road there. But here it is right now for the remainder. And it's like the dang old defense again.
Yeah, I think that the Smiths are just settling in and running their own race and just trying to hold on here because they've opened up 2.5 seconds to Brandon here in this 3-car battle that we're watching. But they're really settling down and going through their own thing. While these three squabble, they're going to lose distance. And look at that 11 on the inside. Who is that there? That is, I believe, Ian Campbell on the inside. Ian Campbell is the white car. Who is that? Is that Brandon?
It's Brandon.
I'm seeing ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I can remember my car liveries and numbers. Brandon ahead, trying to hold on there and just settle in and relax, and Ian's just continuing to put in the pressure.
They're catching Kensley. They're catching P2. Look at that.
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Kinsley's opened up a gap to Austin there, but what? Something had to have happened to Kinsley. Maybe a little wall tap or something?
Yeah, we're currently looking at the moment from Ian's perspective. There's P3. I'm wondering who the other car is, because if you look at the track map, that's the dot of P2. If you look at down the backstretch, approaching into turns 3 and 4. So, yeah, I don't know. Well, who's the other cars up the road? You see 1, 2. I am definitely all confused. Let us know out there in chat, please.
Yeah, I'm getting confused too, but we'll watch it here because Ian Campbell's fast. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Ian Campbell is a fast car.
Reminds me of the song of the fast car, but yep, down the backstretch. But I'm just curious because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't see anything on the track map being a lap car. Ian may send one up on the inside if he can make it stick. The rear ends of both the cars aren't wiggling or jiggling. I was going to go back to the, well, if we're going to the Austin Smiths or either that or Kensley Smith, I'd be like, no, obviously the actor at the moment there, Will Smith, got to get jiggy wiggy with it. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Anyway,
There we go.
the Hot Wheels machine of, that's Kensley. No, it's not. So who is that? That's Brandon. There we go. So that's
Yes.
Andrew and Ian. I'm totally really confused at the moment. You can see on the track map. Oh, it was the lap car of the 12th
AJ.
place. Corey.
Yeah, that's AJ. Yeah, I
AJ,
think it's
yes.
AJ, and then I think it's Corey
Right.
just behind that mix as well.
That
if
mix.
I am figuring this out correct. Whew. Been a long day, Biggles. Numbers get mixed up for me a little bit,
I do.
but something that doesn't get mixed up.
Caution.
is- Oh, caution. What
I think
was
that's
that
the scheduled
caution
caution. I don't think that's anything else because Joshua's gone in the pit road. Corey's down here at the moment. Come back out there. We have AJ. There's nothing that's actually caused the caution, so that's just a scheduled stage break. So Austin will get the win on that one. 3 positions gained there over the other Smith, and not the brothers, not in relation, of course. 3 positions gained for the 15 machine from North Carolina of Kensley.
Yeah, good job, Kensley. Moving up there. Up, started P5, currently P2, and again, Austin Smith started P4 up into first. We're looking at Brandon Sanfilippo
How
there.
about Andrew? 7 positions gained here for the boss man.
Yeah, boss man putting in some work and reminding everyone why the boss man is the boss man.
Pull
It's
him
like
in.
a-
Pull him in. Come on, you have the powers. In fact, wait, they're going to get a pit road. But before we do that, they are going to all jump down pit road. It's crucial because pit stops are... You have to be as accurate as possible. They're all going to jump in. I'd imagine they are. You got Austin, Kensley, everybody at the moment is there. You can see them. So we'll wait a little longer before we get fired for pulling in a boss man for doing that. Let them go in and out, and then we'll talk one. In-N-Out Burger. Hey, grab your In-N-Out Burger. That's right. Get 10% off In-N-Out Burger at the moment if you tune in right now to the JP Broadcasting Network for Racers Elite. God, if you could have In-N-Out Burger anywhere in the world. Anyway, they're all in pit road. Corey stayed out because Corey boxed a little bit earlier. Joshua, AJ, and Sean didn't start the race. So Austin should be the one that heads this lead of the gaggle of cars coming in there from Kensley. So it is pretty much a much of a much with that situation from Brandon, Ian, Andrew, Teff, Dennis, Truth, Matthew, and there it is. So grab Andrew in. Go on.
Yeah.
Give
let's
it
go,
mission.
Andrew. Hey, Andrew, it's Brad and Biggles in the booth. How you hear us?
Hey, got you loud and clear.
Hey, so kind of talk us through these first few laps here. You've been powering your way up the field. How's the car feeling? Because it seemed a little loose from our side.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had this much power underneath me. They're a handful. They start off super loose. Takes a while for the tires to warm up or air up. I'm not sure, but then you just get tighter and tighter. Trying to stay in the rubber, but you just wind up drifting up to the wall. Seems like you can kind of save some rubber up there and be a little bit better on the long run.
A few drivers, Andrew, have tangled with the fence at the moment, and perhaps they need a little bit of protection if you're talking about rubber. There you go. But so they tangle with a little bit, and too much tangling on the fence, of course, is going to scrub off a lot of speed. But the key to that, the Smith, I'm not quite sure if you're aware, the Smith, Austin Smith and Kensley have been leading this one. You've been involved in yourself with Brandon, Ian, I think, and a few of the other drivers are keeping that pack as we get another car. We'll get a little wave around. The stage break, right? I believe on that one, because I don't see any other reason why that caution was called. What was the biggest advantage that you gained those 7 positions to get yourself in P5?
Just kind of saving my tires early. I think you can really abuse them in the first 2 or 3 laps if you're not careful. You know, I might give up a few spots early, but I think it really pays off on the long runs.
All right, and Ian up the road there has absolutely no livery on that one, so that completely white car. Yeah, throwing you off there. Are you aware of that one situation there, Andrew? Of course, you're the boss man that puts this fantastic Racers Elite Nick series. This is a more of a fun thing, as you are, right? Like, as you said, like this little, you know, Saturday nights, a night for racing. But yeah. Just to elaborate, everybody, the more serious leagues that you put on, because the pace car lights are out. So, last kind of words there, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, things are pretty serious during the week with the championship leagues, so it's fun night to let loose, and you know, helps cure some boredom in the off season when NASCAR is not on the schedule. So,
all right, and last, I share one more question. God, I'm going to take it away from you here, but I mean, the first race start, it was the leader just booked it, right? Hit the loud pedal, and the car just screamed into the inside there. Did you see that one? Does that happen to you before in the past?
Yeah, these things are nuts. You could spin the wheels all the way around the track if you wanted to at any given point. It's an absolute handful.
Good luck, green to go. That is our the boss man, Andrew Taff. Over to you again, my dear friend Bradley. Let's call this one.
Absolutely. Pace car is going to peel off here into 4, and as we get back underway here, it is going to be another green call, and Barney, our beautiful flagman, gets things going. Look at that, Andrew Taff spins the wheels a little bit, but who doesn't spin the wheels? Austin Smith with a good takeoff there. And look at this 3-way battle. Brandon Sanfilippo, Ian Campbell, and Kinsley Smith going to be battling things here out of turn 2, and look at that. Brandon Sanfilippo will be rounding out of turn 2, keeping hold of P2. And pack battles here midfield. Andrew Teft with a big battle behind. Watch this. Watch everything behind that goes there. Dennis Kane, Truth Hope, Matthew Jarrett showing in the mix. Matthew Jarrett into the wall, actually.
Yeah, you're talking about that one into the wall, isn't it? So, yeah. Ian now challenging here for Brandon for the P2 position. Austin's on another planet. We'll have to check that car later for that nitrous boost or whatever he had on that one. He was gone. The battle for P2 is here, right now on lap 35. Insane.
35 in about 2 corners, so we'll give it to you here. Andrew Teft is still trying to get in the mix of this, and look at this battle. I love these Gen 4 cars because they will run so close with each other, and they will battle very, very tightly. And this battle right here between Ian Campbell, Kinsley Smith, and Brandon Sanfilippo is going to just continue on, and I will tell you right now, Ian Campbell is going to have a challenging time holding Kinsley Smith behind, because that number 15 car is a rocket ship. And look at that exit off of 2, down the backstretch, straight down, and now high line of 3, and the high line, we heard the boss man, Andrew, there say that you can hold that high line. It's got a little bit more rubber, a little bit more pace, and keep things going. And
Ian's in trouble. He's gone too much on the inside there. He's got the boss man at the moment on the outside. That's Andrew Teff. You can see there to your right, the 94 machine slices past him to take an 8th spot away. And I'm not quite sure exactly what happened to Ian. Like, is it too greedy on the tires to go that much into the apron?
Yeah, it almost could just be a thing too of just getting too low. And just, if the car slides a little bit, you're going to lose pace. And unfortunately, with this track and with the, just nature of NASCAR, that pace, you're just going to keep dropping back. So until he can really build that speed back up and get back in the mix, Ian Campbell's just going to keep falling back. And look at this 3 wide coming out of 2 here. The 5, the 82, and the 12 coming around. And that is Puffenbarger and Neal that are just going to slide right on. And watch this. Schollenbacher is going to just go around the outside too. Oh, no, he's in the wall. Schollenbacher just eats the wall in 3, just completely through. And wow,
the wall, sir. The wall will eat you back at the moment. It'll actually bring the other driver players into play. All the players want to play. That's right. We're not going to go down to a Taylor Swift song. We're going to go down to motor racing at Atlanta. Well, Christmas may come early. Oh, there it is. And somebody's, I think that's...
That is Smith.
Kensley.
Why'd we call a caution for that? Kinsley caught that.
I know, but sometimes iRacing gods to be will just deem that could be an accident that could cause a big pile-up, and it hasn't, but it is what it is. But well, Barney's the one to talk to later on, so if you have a message, hashtag Barney.
Me and Barney will have a conversation later. Don't you worry, Biggles.
Hashtag Barney beef, I think it is, isn't it? No, please don't do that. But then again, hey, trademark. That could be something.
Or do that. Yeah, I mean, it's an option. You never know.
Yeah, and we saw it anyway, so really no real indication of what's going to happen with the replay of that one. But then again, look at that. So Kensley can still slide his way back up in that position there in P2. And as we know, nobody really has, well, a couple of drivers have gambled with the fence. As a race driver, of course, it's like, hey, race control, that fence came out and hit my car. Yes, we agree. But then again, some people are electing to use this as an advantage for a pit stop. Let's have a look. Joel's gone in. Dennis has gone in. Corey's gone in. And Truth has gone in. So I like this alternative strategy between these drivers because that can pay out later on in the race.
I always like it when drivers decide to mix up their strategy, mix up their decisions, and they don't just stick with the, status quo run of, oh, the pack didn't pit, I'm not pitting. I like it when you mix things up and you make things a little challenging. And here's the thing, you're going to be fast on fresh rubber. And we heard what Andrew said, you can abuse the rubber the first few laps. Andrew Teff said it. The boss man said you can push these tires the first 2 or 3 laps. So do it. The drivers are going to do it. And if the drivers have the broadcast on in the background and they're listening, they know that they can do it.
You can do it. And AJ's going to give himself an opportunity to catch back up to the pack there on the lead lap. So that's granted fantastic for the 11 machine that lost. I mean, AJ, remember, was leading this one. So we won't go back into that one. Hey, but see, AJ knows that, hey, there are 66 laps to go at least. He knows, hey, it's fine as long as they're all bunched up. All I have to do is overtake really 12 cars and I'm back in the lead of this one. It only counts when you are crossing that line. In fact, AJ at the moment is going back into pit road saying, all right, guys, I'm going to have a bit of a yarn to you at the moment. He's going to pull up next to the commentating trailer right now and knock on the door at the moment and go, hang on, I want to speak to you gentlemen about what I'm doing. Yeah, he's going back into pit road. Let's see. Is he going to take advantage of this? Because he probably could catch up to the pack in and out. Let's see. Stops it on a dime.
Yep. A little bit of a backup, but seems pretty good there. Car goes up. Comes around. The pack's coming around. Yeah. Out of 2 currently.
The pace car lights are off, so it might not have enough time to catch up to the rest of the pack. But then again, chances of another caution. Safety cars breed safety cars. Austin Smith leading. Kensley Smith. Again, Smith. Team by name, not by teammates. And Brandon, and this has actually been beneficial, hasn't it, from the boss man, Mr. Andrew Teff, because slowly, one by one, he's picking them off pieces by pieces. 8 positions gained, P4.
Yeah, Andrew Teff in a very, very good position right now. And I will say, someone who I think is in a very good position is going to be AJ, the pole sitter who didn't even get to lead across the start-finish line.
He's going to catch him.
Who is catching the pack.
Yeah,
look at this. Catches up right there. And this is how we get back racing, Biggles, because this is what we need. Austin Smith and Kinsley Smith will take us around going. Austin Smith, beautiful takeoff there. Kinsley Smith, P2. And look at that. Brandon Sanfilippo and Andrew Teft, P3, P4, bringing things around. P5, 6, Puffenbarger and Neal will stay side by side coming through. And then, of course, Ian Campbell trying to stay in the mix there in that dark white car. I don't know why I said dark white car. It's just a solid white car. Coming through and holding on, and side by side they go. Where they stop, nobody knows. And we coming around the 94 and the 5 side by side, with the 82 having the best seat in the house to watch this battle between Andrew Teff and Brandon Puffenbarger coming around. And it does look like Andrew Teff started P12, is going to round out that restart lap into P4. And we are lap 43 of 105 here, sir. And This has been some very, very exciting racing all the way through. Drivers continuing to settle things in, and that number 82 is going to be under some pressure here. Look at this. Andrew Taft putting some pressure on Brandon Sanfilippo, too, as well, here in the P3 position, trying to challenge it up.
Yep, Andrew is doing it. The car's sliding a little bit. He's got Brad Puffenberger behind him. Puffenberger, my apologies about that one. Of course, Joshua Ian Campbell, side by side for the white machines. One's an 82 with the navy. And the other one of Ian Campbell, of course, just forgot to put the stickers on the car there for the number 12 machine. Yours is a little bit more fun, as it is, as you're seeing. But they are the battling for those positions. Austin Smith way up the road there. Not a problem there. 60 seconds, half a second and change down the road. Sliding a little bit. There is Kensley. There is Austin. Brandon and the Hot Wheels machine. They're chased down by the McDonald's combo special there of Andrew Teff. And of course, well, we all know about Brandon Offenberger. Sorry, got that one right. I'm sorry. I go from McDonald's livery to that. I can't blame me for getting that wrong. But anyway, it's a fun league, and they all know that Biggles is the butcher of drivers' names. Here we go. Do this. Side by side.
Side by side, Ian Campbell and that number 80 of Matthew Jarrett bringing things through and going around the inside there with that Mountain Dew livery, Dew fresh up the inside. Now, can the Navy support and protect that number 82 of Joshua Neal to hold things around? But first, Ian Campbell wants to have a run back up the inside to try to get things through. Matthew Jarrett back into the wall again. Matthew Jarrett and that wall are best friends. I think he's just the wall whisperer is what I'm going to call Matthew Jarrett for the rest of this race. The wall whisperer, just very, very close. I've been trying to reach you about your wall's extended warranty. Coming around here, staying beside and behind Ian Campbell while John Schollenbacher is trying to make things through. And Mr. Butcher Biggles, how do you pronounce that last name? Am I saying it right?
Schollenbacher, something like that, exactly. But that's the granted thing about having a white livery as well, too, on a car, is that if you scrap the paint off the side there, nobody's even going to know, are they? At the end of the day, depending on what the livery is on the side of that fence there. But anyway, there is beef going on at the moment between some of the drivers, because I saw a fantastic overtake, I think. It's all happening thick and fast here. That's Teff. Teffy's up into... There you go, Teff start. You're up into P3. So he got past Brandon, who's here. And then, of course, the beef is still happening right here at the moment with the 80 and 82 machine.
I don't want to bring your attention off of this 80 and 82 machine because this is a big battle right now that's going on for these midfield places. But I do want to just point out, watch the leaderboard every once in a while and look for that last name of Coffin, the number 11 there of AJ, up into 10th place already after the restart.
Oh, here it is.
Continuing to push forward.
Oh, yeah, he's hanging in there for sure because he knows that there's plenty of racing to go. 57 laps to be precise. And here's the hot zone currently at the moment. The Atlanta Motor Speedway there for the Racers Elite Series. Gen 4s for fun. But I'll tell you what, some of these drivers at the moment may be wanting to have not just fun, but get a race win. And it's all possible in any of these positions at the moment.
Sometimes a race win is just what you need in these fun leagues. Like, these fun sessions are, again, they're meant to be fun, but you're a racing driver. You still have a little bit of competition to you here. And you can see that right now because Kinsley Smith had dropped back a bit and is now trying to push the way forward. Kinsley Smith wants to get around there with John Schollenbacher and that number 82 of Joshua Neal. Wants to go around the outside line and try to work back forward to get back towards that front pack that they were so closely battling with. And then, unfortunately, I think Kinsley Smith had a little bit of an incident there out on the main straight and just dropped back. But now settling things back forward, Kinsley Smith able to move up into P5, I believe that is.
Kinsley is
P7.
7. Yes. You can see your leader right at the moment. You can see your leader just up the road there. That's that little speckle in there. That's Austin Smith leading this one, the 23 machine. That's what this driver's not focusing at the moment there for John. He is focusing on trying to gain another position on this one. He's down in P9 with the number 9 machine. How ironic. But more importantly, you're thinking about AJ coming back after an embarrassing... That's right, AJ, I'm pretty sure you were embarrassed about that one. Too much on the loud pedal. Race restart. But one thing you can't take away from a fast driver is the fast pace.
It's very true. Fast driver, fast pace, keep things moving forward. And AJ Coffin is now up into P9, taking the 9 from the 9 and keeping things forward. Brandon Puffenbarger is also trying to keep Ian Campbell behind here. And the fast drivers are continuing to battle. These Gen 4 cars, you stomp on the loud pedal, you're going to get whatever you want out of them. And for these drivers, it's to move forward. And they are doing that at a massive pace. We're seeing positions change left, right, center, up and down all the way through. And I think something's happened back behind here because it's Kinsley Smith down on the apron of 3.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'm not sure what happened to
No
Kinsley
caution.
Smith there. No caution, though. So we keep going. We keep trucking. And Kinsley Smith would be dreaming for a caution. And Andrew Teft would be dreaming for a caution because the defense that Andrew Teft is going to have to put in these Gen 4 cars against Ian Campbell and Puffenbarger behind. And then you have Jarrett in the mix as well. Matthew Jarrett, very, very fast driver. And there we go. You put that number 5 in the wall. And Brandon Puffenbarger slides it out of 2. Down low is going to have AJ up for company. And AJ up into 7th, going to be looking for 6th. And Andrew Teft is just fingers crossed everything that Andrew Teft can do to hold on to 3rd.
Yeah, he's doing okay on the outside, but he's got a lot of twirly-whirly, getting dancing at the fence at the moment there. I was going to say, it's like, you know, sometimes when you're flirting with danger is like basically when your girlfriend or wife is at the opening at your door when you're on your...
Big crash in the backfield. Big crash. That is going to be Neil Kane. Big crash there out of 2. It looks like it took out like 4 cars. I'm shocked there's no caution.
No, I can't even see where they are. There it is. It looks like Dennis here. He said
there we go.
It's a little dinged up there, but they say go, go, go. So we're going to continue to go, go, go. Going back to that one, exactly. It's like, you know, your wife or your girlfriend standing at the door there. She's all dressed up to go out, and you're at your racing sim. And then you're looking up going, oh, there's the caution.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly. There's the caution because you forgot. It's your anniversary. And she's waiting. Huh? Have they forgotten that there's a yellow caution out there at the moment? There it is.
Yeah,
I got there in the end. Took a bit.
Oh, man. Drivers involved, Joshua Neal, Dennis Kane, and you can see that beat-up car Dennis Kane has. Kinsley Smith, I believe, was involved. So, whole time we had that big battle going on the front that we were focusing on, there was a battle further back on the backfield there, and it looks like that was just lap 54, just drivers tangling up. I caught it out of the corner on my second monitor of the cars just tangling up and 3 or 4 cars sliding around the corner.
If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, it was Joshua Neal, Dennis Kane coming around. Okay. So you should be able to see it here, it looks like, because, yeah, you can see that 82 is beat up a little bit before that.
No,
actually.
It's
so, because it was in the middle of the corner.
Right.
You can see the damage on the 82 on the outside.
You got better eyes than me, my friend. But yes, exactly when I replay that one.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
there a little bit more.
the software that I have doesn't. There it is. You called it.
Yeah.
I'm used to road courses where it kind of indicates that. We have a bunch of drivers going to pit road right now, so we're not missing too much. And there it is. Oh, wow.
Yep. 82-1 collect, and then it looks like.
Go back to that one.
I can't actually tell who that took out. I think it took out Corey Crowell in the 20 as well.
Yeah, slow it down a bit so we can kind of get a little adjusting what's going on. Here we go. So do you think it was caused by the 82 losing it a little bit, the tango and fence? He's coming down.
I kind of think it was...
Yeah, he hits the fence.
Yeah, 82 hits the fence, bounces out into the line of the 4 there.
And then 20.
The 20's just nothing you could do to get out of the way of that one.
There you go. Back to live pitches. So they've all gone in and out pit road. More importantly than anything, Austin's still continued to lead this one, Austin Smith, but Brandon's come out in P2. AJ is now P3. Andrew's behind him, P4. Ian dropped a couple places during that pit stop there. Brandon dropped a couple of places during the pit stop there. Truth, John, Joshua, Matthew, Dennis, Kinsley Smith, more importantly, I remember battling it out with Austin, is in P12. But then again, if you were to say that a few moments before, you would say AJ was at the back of the field. Well, Kinsley is. Corey is coming back out of pit road there, and the last driver didn't even start the race. So it ain't over yet, especially you have 47 laps to go. Frostine out there says Brandon Pitt before the leader so you can get back out the lead before him. Thank you for that.
Yeah, good decisions there on pit stops. All the drivers taking advantage, setting things up. And Austin Smith, you're going to need another good takeoff. We've seen Austin Smith have several good runs there out of the restart zone and just come out already half a second ahead before turn 1. Austin Smith, you got to do that again as we come around here on the backstretch. It looks like the lights on that pace car are off, Biggles. So we are coming around to lap 60 of 105. We're going into the back half of this race. Who are you putting your money on? Who do you want to
put me down on gambling, man. I'm putting my money on the fact that there's going to be a little pothole cover coming off on Las Vegas Boulevard during the Las Vegas Formula 1 GP. How's that sound? No,
sounds like you won.
It's too soon. I'm giving it to AJ. I think AJ for the 11 machine, which is the jersey I used to wear when I played basketball back in Australia. I'm giving it to AJ because AJ had the pace. He put it on pole. And after that little mistake, AJ's got more to prove that he can win this race. Let's go.
Well, good day, Mike, because here's another green flag restart. Austin Smith will take on off Brandon Savlippo and AJ P2, P3. And look at this. AJ's already going to try to move up into P2. And Ian Campbell is just going to slot around the inside and say, thank you very much. Brandon is going to start sliding back, and it's going to be a Brandon versus Andrew. The boss man wants the inside line and is going to have the inside line because what do you not want to do? You don't want to wreck the boss, and you don't want to get in the boss's way, but you need to fight it a little bit there. Brandon Sanfilippo will try to hold that outside line, but right off the restart, little cool tires, just not close enough to really bring that battle on. So Brandon will be just holding on here, settling in, and now again down the inside goes Andrew Teft. Andrew Teft also keeping the eyeballs on Ian Campbell. Andrew likes that inside line, even though most drivers have liked that outside line. Oh, a little loose there. Don't wreck your boss. Do not wreck the league owner.
No, you can. You're allowed to in the fun, in the more fun, Saturday night leagues. Yeah, this is the only time you can get away with it, honestly. Just don't do it during the serious racing times. It's okay. Andrew Taft, you'll be fine, my friend. You're 8 positions gained anyway, so you got nothing to lose. Look at this. We're running a ball with Brandon.
Oh my gosh. That 94 at that 12, Andrew Taft, Ian Campbell. Real loose car that Andrew Taft is running. I don't know how much rear end he's had them take out of this car, but that car is slipping and sliding everywhere. Look at that thing. It is just crabbing left and right.
Yeah, you could have a little door banging into the fence, some of that there, and struggling to keep that car into. He's got the pace, but he has it. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a hot. I was going to say he's Hot Wheels, but he's not. He's the McDonald's special there for Andrew Taft. But he is 9 positions gained in P3. So whatever you could say about his driving or how the car is feeling, he's gained more than anybody else in this grid on lap 63.
I mean, I was going to say save the sliding for the Chili Bowl on January 13th when they run that in this league, but doggone, he decided he's going to practice the dirt skills now, and it's paying off. As you mentioned, he's up 9 places, so I can't say too much for him. But, some action happening here. Look at this as he goes away at his Campbell, Sanfilippo, and Buffett Parker, the Brandons, getting mixed up with Ian and deciding to have a bit of a battle here, a bit of a scruff, if you will. And Ian Campbell going to just slide in the middle here as we see the Brandons take the high line. Ian wants the low line, and it looks like for Ian, it's paying off a bit. And he is going to just settle in and try to hold on to this 5th place as long as he can. That number 5 on the outside.
That's not an easy. Yeah, hit the inside apron, like cutting the track. Like, yeah, great. Go into the grass if you want, my friend. Problem is, as soon as that wheel hits the down there on the inside where there's no grip, you're in big trouble. He's done it before as well. He has done it before. He's ventured into places that no car should ever be, and it cost him a lot of time. Therefore, he's tried to venture into there again. Further back, Andrew Teff there, still hovering in there. Austin Smith, where is he? Way up the road. Hello. AJ, hunting him down big time. There's Teff. And Teff has got some pace here. He's starting to break away a little bit from the Brandon duo.
Yeah, I do think that if AJ and Andrew were to connect up and work together a little bit here around this 1.5 miles, they could probably catch up to Austin Smith and give him a run for his money here. Because we are, of course, lap 66 of 105. We're not too far off here. And again, with the Brandons, if the Brandons can work together. But you're asking race car drivers to work together and play the team game and do the smart things and not battle each other. It doesn't make for good racing. It doesn't make for good entertainment. It doesn't make for good broadcast. So these drivers are going to battle it all the way through. So watch this as Brandon on Brandon decide to battle. The Brandons battle belligerently, and they are going to have a beautiful, beautiful bout to see who can win where. And now, while they settle that up, look at Neil and Jarrett here. Jarrett going to be around the inside, Joshua Neal on the outside, and it is indeed going to be that Mountain Dew car coming around the inside, having a Baja Blast of a time, trying to take that P7 position, and does so just before the line. They hold on side by side. Look at that, that 82 getting swirly, the 80 getting swirly, slides up a little bit, and the 82 backs out of it, and Neil will settle his way back in. Joshua Neal holding on to that P8, decides it's better to live another day than to die. And Andrew Teff, something's happened to Teff, because look at this, the Brandon brothers.
Yes.
They're not brothers, but Brandon brothers just rolls off the tongue. And they are going to be battling hard here. Look at this. Andrew Teft is going to have to go to the high side. Andrew Teft has lost all of that momentum that he had there on AJ. And now the Brandons are going to see which way they can cut and dice and make their way nice forward.
Sliding at the moment, as you mentioned there. So, yep, sorry about that one with the Brandon brothers. We're going to call you that at the moment there. And you can see there all the cars there. Andrew, Brandon, and Brandon. And going back, we got to talk a little bit more about this Mountain Dew thing, because, you know, I met the lady whose father, I think it was, that actually invented, or grandfather invented that recipe. But that's another story at the moment. The story of motor racing is Andrew into the fence. Andrew into the fence, compromising, so he will allow the Brandon duo through 1 and 2, Brandon 3 and 4. Andrew's in big trouble at the moment. He's going to be under massive pressure, depending on how much damage he got in that motor vehicle, because he has the white machine of Ian there, the White Knight, but that's called in this race.
I like that. White Knight of Ian. Going around the inside here of Andrew Teft. Andrew Teft is going to be severely disadvantaged, might be damaged, trying to go around the outside line there, and Ian Campbell will settle things in, go for P5. Andrew Teft, man, had a lot of pace going through, and just unfortunately can't capitalize on it here, as the car is loose as a goose and is just flying around everywhere it wants to go. I asked him why that car was so loose, and he is just, man, it's a handful. He's holding on to it, though, for the most part, but one small mistake is all it takes to go through. And here we go. Campbell and Jarrett are going to slide it around. Matthew Jarrett is going to look the high line, and Andrew Teft's going to close the door. How wide is a Gen 4 NASCAR? Well, it's about as wide as a car, but if you're Andrew Teft, you need it to be about as wide as a Tonka dump truck. And he's going to try to do everything he can to just keep Campbell and Jarrett right behind there. But keeps running the high line, sliding, get a little too close to the wall. It's not going to work out for you, bud. You got to just put the pedal down and go.
But he's got the straight line speed. If you notice it, look at that. As soon as he gets in the straights, he's gone. He's out of there, but he's scrubbing so much speed. We don't know if he's actually copped some damage there. That's exactly what he called. And there is a stage break, I believe, because there's no caution for any accidents on track, as Barney's just wanting to wave the yellow flag because he got bored.
Actually, it looks like Truth into the wall. Yeah, it looks like Truth Hoke calling out, I'm into the wall, I'm into the wall.
Oh.
So it looks like actually number 15 of Kinsley Smith, Truth Hoke, and Dennis Kane might be the cause of that caution.
Okay, let's have a look at the replay on that one, because, oh yeah, you're right. I'm called it. There you go, you're perfect, my friend. Barney knew what was going on. You knew what was going on. The producer, myself, did not know what's going on. So, good thing about replays, we will. And that's because it hit the fence, didn't he? And that's not Dennis hit the fence. That was Truth, right? They hit the fence. So let's have a look at that one.
Yeah, it looks like Truth just came up.
Tangoed with the fence, and the fence did not like that first date. Bingo. Whoa. A little too close, gentlemen. All right. Never look under a gentleman's motor vehicle like that, sir, without permission. But it has happened.
You see, when one Gen 4 car and another Gen 4 car.
Yeah, we won't even show that. This is PG stream, of course. We won't go under the gearbox, of course, or under the rear muffler of these motor vehicles. We'll keep it like that. But then again, that will switch the strategy up, because Truth will go in there and fix that damage there. Kensley will go in Brandon will go in. Corey will go in. It's interesting. And John of the surname you cannot pronounce, so you should get it right now. The number 9 machine.
Yeah, John Schollenbacher.
There you go.
Going very, very well around and settling in. Going to be in P12. Dennis Kane will be 13th. As Dennis Kane, I believe, is having an extended pit stop or
All right.
possibly just coming
Grab
around.
Austin Smith really quickly if you can. Pull him in here because he's been leading most of this race. Let's see. We have the pace car lights on. So,
Let me find Austin Smith here. Come here,
Yeah.
Austin Smith.
yeah. Grab.
Right click. Come on, come on. Let's move you.
Still got
in
time.
Here.
Really?
Hey, Austin Smith, Brad and Biggles. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you guys?
We are good. Pace lights are off, so I'm gonna keep this real
sorry.
brief.
Yeah, go ahead, Austin. You got a little bit of time.
How are you leading so much? What's the key to your restarts? How are you going so fast?
Just trying to be easy on the throttle. These things got a lot of horsepower, so just trying to feather this thing around the corner, and I'm trying to put my left sides on this first seam right here, and that seems to rotate the car a little bit better. So we'll see what happens, though. We're all on old tires. It could be a show at this next restart.
All right, Austin. Thank you very much for that, my friend. Going to get ready for another one of those fantastic shooting at 1,000,000 miles an hour. The only thing I would have to say right now is that the difference is AJ's right next to him. Remember, AJ was the man that leaded on pole. So AJ, after that, like exactly what Austin just said about, you know, how you're going to take care of that throttle management. Well, see whether or not AJ is going to take that advice there. As we get ready to go green again. Yeah, with 31 to go. This is now getting to the crunch time. So, pace car pills in. Let's go racing.
Lap 75 of 105, and here we go. It's Smith and AJ there, and oh, Andrew Teff snaps the rear in the 82. Big wreck in the background. Caution, 3 cautions, and we're going to be right back under a yellow flag. Is that number
Still
82?
green. No, we are
No,
green.
we're still green. We're going. Okay. Not what I expected. Smith and AJ, Austin and AJ are going to keep each other running. I think both of them might have I think AJ might have backed it down a little, expecting a caution. We're still going, though. Andrew Teff in the background, a bit of pressure there and going through, and we saw everybody kind of snap the rear end. That 82 came through, and it... Wow, okay, we're still green, we're going. And Andrew, stay out of the wall, please, as we go around. But Ian Campbell is going to keep him nice and honest around the inside here. And as we go side by side into turn 1, it is Ian Campbell, Andrew Teff going through. And that number 15 at Kinsley Smith
going to go
wants
for the
in
middle.
Mix.
Yep.
Oh,
That's a blink from Kensley. That's not the best thing you want to have, especially if you're going to slicing your dicing through the middle of 2 fantastic competitors. But he will get 1. And will he get 2? Yes, he will. Bingo on the inside.
There
the door
we
was
go.
left open. And there's no way I think Andrew Teff can... We don't know if Andrew Teff actually took any damage and repairs on that scenario. But he'll have to lift off. Kensley's up the road there because he wants to catch the other Smith, which is Austin, leading this one. AJ, I think, is the biggest threat. Is my pick for the number 11 machine to hunt down Mr. Austin Smith. Keep an eye out for Brandon and Matthew in the background there as those laps are ticking over. 28 to go.
28 to go here, and the big battle is going to be Brandon and Matthew Jarrett trying to battle out for P3, but of course, keep your eye on the battles behind. Andrew Teff feeling the pressure here. Look at this, 3 cars all chasing down Andrew Teff and trying to put on some pressure. Andrew Teff, Corey Crowell, Ian Campbell, John Schollenbacher. John up into the wall a little bit, gets a bit loose, but saves the car, most importantly, keeps that car going in a fairly straight around the track line. And there's the Mountain Dew car coming around, that number 80 of Matthew Jarrett putting on some pressure. Kinsley Smith chasing the way up the inside.
Yeah, Kez is coming back at it. This is the exact same fight AJ had to come back from the back of the field. Kensley is repeating the situation. The only difference is that there's a little less laps. But he's on fire right now for the 15 machine. He's at P3. Little bit of a wiggle swiggle there for Brandon in the 4th place and the 14. AJ still creeping in on Austin. Look at this. Now Austin, that has been leading majority of this race, has got a little bit of trouble down the road there. Austin got to hang in there. He could do it for the 23 machine. But look at AJ's power and pace. Choosing the inside line, choosing to come back for the 11 machine. Let's see. And if he doesn't do anything about it, Kensley Smith wants this as well too. Kensley Smith is approaching at 1,000,000 miles an hour. He has the freshest boots in town. and he may seize the opportunity. He boxed on lap 73. He's got tires, and we all know those tires is what you need for a motor vehicle in a motor race.
25 to go, and it's Smith, and AJ. The Smiths are sending it. Look at this. The Smith is going to send it. Kinsley Smith in that number 15 has the Napa know-how to send it up the inside on the Milwaukee Motorsports.
Wow.
And is going to have the lead with 24 to go. And if you are Austin Smith, you are going to be mad. Because look at that. Kinsley Smith just sends it with no regard, no hesitation. Kinsley Smith puts that Napa know-how to work, moves it up into the lead, and now it's the Milwaukee Motorsport problem. How do you chase back? Or proposition to you, is this strategy game coming out? Is this Austin paving tires?
Well, you can't. Another one to look out for now is Corey, because Corey's on the same boots. Corey boxed on lap 73. The two drivers up the road are on 53. Look at that. He's slicing through them like butter. It's like taking candy from a baby. You got to remember, these drivers are similar on pace and similar on every style they have. But those boots are made for walking, and they're made for walking around Atlanta Motor Speedway. And bingo, Corey's up at a P2 just like that. The top two drivers are the ones that boxed on lap 73. Austin is dropping like a stone because John has just destroyed him because of the tires once again.
Just fresh rubber will always make a difference. And sometimes it is worth it to pit and take the rubber and give up the track position. And we're seeing the examples of that now. Look at that. Austin Smith, who has been so dominant the whole way through, is now down into 4th place with 3 cars that have all pit and taken fresh boots ahead. You can't write this. You can't make this up if you wanted to. This is just pure race strategy playing out with 21 to go, I'm sorry, as we cross the line here. And we will just continue to watch Austin Smith and AJ Coffin struggle forward. And if there's another caution, they may be in for a good run. But as it sits right now, they're not going to be able to do anything unless they are playing a ultimate dummy, saving some major tires. But I don't think they can.
Yeah, Brad, they are praying for a caution, I have to say. If they want a race win, they're praying for a caution. At the moment, at best, they're going to be looking for a P4 as they battle to each other, because Kensley's got up the road there. Look at that. Kensley, Corey. This is the battle for the race win, really, with John, sorry. So that's it. Because Austin Smith and as down the road there from AJ, they don't have the boots. They do not have those boots. So you see the struggling right now of AJ. And the rest of the drivers, so behind John, behind the top 3, those drivers are the ones that did not change their tires. They last boxed on lap 57. We have 20 to go. I think right now it depends on who wants it. Can Kensley hold on? Does Curry want it? Or can John steal the show for the number 9 machine?
Well, the thing I'll tell you is watching Corey Crowell. Corey Crowell has a lot of pace, and Kinsley Smith, I think, has taken too much out of those tires too soon to get in the position that Kinsley Smith is in. And now Corey Crowell just needs to keep applying the pressure. And Kinsley Smith, we've seen up in the wall a couple of times through this race. And Kinsley Smith loves that high line, loves the run out of 4. But Corey Crowell has some good pace, and here we go on the riding on board with John Schollenbacher. Great view. Little loose from Corey Crowell, but Corey Crowell is trying to set this up and doing a beautiful job of doing so. But can John get in the mix here and just slide through both? And a little bit of a blink from Kinsley, a little bit of a connection thing, but not what you want right now. But thankfully nothing too drastic. And as we come through, Corey Crowell is just continuing to put that pressure. It's go to the inside, slide back in behind, go to the inside, do what you can to make this stick. And as we see coming out of 4 here, I think Corey Crowell might make this stick as we cross the line here. 60 to go, new leader, Corey Crowell. And right back to Kinsley Smith though, coming around that high line. Kinsley Smith is getting just enough straight line speed to keep putting in contention. But look at that, look at that, look at that. And Corey Crowell might have it done here on the exit of 2. And a little loose there. Everybody's loose. Everybody's pushing their tires. It's neck and neck all the way through here as we go. Corey Crowell, Kinsley Smith, John Schollenbacher. I don't know which one of these 3 is going to be in the lead when it comes to the end of this race. Because any small move, any small moment, and it can go to any of these 3, or heck, it could go all the way back to AJ and Austin back there in P4 and P5.
Well, you're talking about 5 seconds now. They've gained over to P4. That is a tire difference between it, because we all know these drivers have similar pace. AJ put this baby on pole. And he's 5 seconds down the road. Drop 5 and change. And that caution is going to bring a big difference in this. As Sarah's got a smile on her face to say, I made it. Hello, everybody. Well, Sarah, well, a smile to perhaps some of those other drivers' faces, including Austin Smith, because now all that massive 5-second gap those top 3 had is neglected. Because what do? Do they elect to stay out because they've only got a handful of laps to go? But if you're the likes of AJ, Austin Smith, and so forth, you got to get rubber because you know at the moment you just got overtaken. You got basically beaten by drivers that you have clearly a better pace with. So what do you do? What do you do? It's the question.
Every driver needs to come down pit road right now. I'm going to tell you, every driver needs to hit pit road, and if you don't hit pit road, that's a bad decision. That's my opinion, and I am willing to stick to it, and we'll see what the drivers do and how many drivers don't listen to me because I am not a race strategist. I am indeed just in the commentary booth and can share my non-professional opinions about what they should be doing.
But Corey has to make the call. In fact, he just passed pit road, so there it is. John goes in, AJ goes in. Now, John was the one that was on the better boots. AJ, Austin, Brandon, Matthew, as you said, everybody's going to go in. The key is, did Corey miss... Did they miss it or they elected to stay out? It's only Corey, Corwell, and Kensley that stayed out.
Oh,
I
don't know if that's the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think it's 14 or so laps. So let's count that down. You know, you're going to lose a couple here after you're on the pace car. But that will give AJ fresh boots. This is going to be a key to the pit stop battle as well, too. Who gets out first? AJ will. Just out of Austin and John. And Brandon. Tef is really struggling at the moment, isn't he? He's dropping back to P7 at the moment. I'm quite sure those pit stops have worked for them, but there it is. So here it is. Now we're going to have a little bit of flipperoo, not the kangaroo, but a flipperoo on the situation that we're going to have a driver in P3 that's going to have 20, give or take, about 17 or so laps. I'm not going to do the math on that. Better tires than the 2 leaders. And we saw what happened before with this similar tire strategy, but in reverse.
Yeah, that is... Corey and Kinsley are gambling, and I think they might have just thrown a bust.
Actually, what caused the caution on that one? Actually, that was a good question that was asked out there.
I don't know what caused the caution on that one. That's one that I didn't see. I didn't see anything happen.
Find out. That might be the situation. Yeah, I don't quite sure really what caused the caution there. Good call out there, Sarah.
Yeah, it looks like that might have been just a admin called one or a scheduled one. I'm not sure.
Sorry about that one, man. Tipping my hat at the moment. So for 13 to go. See, down to 13 to go. It could be wise enough because there is a key to track position, no doubt. However, we've clearly seen in just a handful of laps, track position makes no difference if you have the best boots in town. We can't pull any drivers in at this point because it's too late to have a bit of a yarn to them. So pace car's going to be peeling in soon. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we go green to the end.
Fingers crossed. I've got the driver's radio scanner on, and I'll tell you, Corey just made a call and said, I don't have any more tires, which is why I didn't pit, so please don't run me over. So Corey and Kinsley know they're in trouble here as we come to the green flag, and this is going to be where things get interesting. AJ, Austin, fresh boots. Corey and Kinsley, fingers crossed, just need to make it through, and as we get back underway, stomp the loud pedal, get going, and oh, there's a spin in the back. Oh my gosh, and that will be a caution, breeding a caution.
No.
But how long will it take for the... Oh, we're staying green. Okay, never mind. I called it too soon as we come through. Look at this, though. AJ's already pushing through. Austin Smith is already pushed through. And at this point, it is truly just Corey Kraut and Kinsley Smith trying to hold
Corey's
on.
holding on. He can't, can he? He cannot, even on the inside line, he's getting eaten alive on the outside. And you know you scrub a lot more tires if you're on the outside. AJ has to chase down Austin. That is the key. Austin's already loving leading this races. I don't think AJ's going to have enough time to get it done. I really don't. Austin's been happy to lead this race the whole time. It's the battle of the rest of the field here at the moment. Poor Kensley at the moment. Look at that, down to 7th, give or take. That's just, it's so horrible. You don't know. Corey, damn place. Not electing to go to pit road is difficult. Now, 11 to go. Look at that. Commanding lead by Austin.
Difference of fresh tires definitely getting shown here. Now watch that battle for P3 right there. Look at Campbell and Brandon going around. Ian on the inside and Brandon on the outside. Ian comes through the inside and is going to go up and try to hold on to that P3 there against Brandon. But Brandon really wants to challenge, and Brandon has good pace on that outside line. And looky there, looking P5, and it's going to be Andrew Teft in P5 just silently sitting, watching, waiting. Looking for the 10 to go and looking to see where Andrew Teft can work his way back up here. What sort of a recovery drive can be done? Because Andrew Teft, of course, remember, started 12 in this 13-car grid and is now up into P5, continuing to look forward. But as we look at that, look at the side-by-side action between Brandon and Ian here. Just absolute beautiful driving between those two. And just, I mean, you can't write this any better. Side-by-side all the way around, doing the best they can. And just keeping each other honest, giving each other racing room, but trying to push one into a small mistake. And as we come around, Ian Campbell will continue to hold on to P3 here. 8 laps to go here at the Racers Elite Saturday night race.
I think if you're anything at the moment there, if Ian and Brandon want to do anything about a race win, they've got to work together at this point. You have to work together. You have to somehow hack into your team radio of the opposite teams and say, all right, do you want a race win? AJ's there. They're catching AJ. They are catching, but unfortunately, they're not catching him at a rate where 8 laps to go is enough. So, that's not going to be the way to do it under the fence. So now it's going to be, call Andrew as your reserve driver. Bring Andrew into play there. Let Andrew help out Brandon and chase down, of course, AJ. That is the key for them, because now you're down to 7 laps. Just like that, blink and you miss it. Because Austin's out of reach. I think Austin's out of reach. Austin has this one in the bag. AJ is hanging in there, hasn't got enough pace to catch Austin. But the rest of the field there, Ian needs help. Ian needs help to catch them. And it's more about these two. And no way, Andrew's even struggling big time at this point. This may very well be a script of a fantastic race. As you can see the drivers. And Austin, well, he's come back from just everything thrown at the 23 machine. Doesn't matter. He's got the Milwaukee machine all hooked up and handled there. And even as AJ is putting the pressure on him at the moment in the background there, the man that put the car on pole, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you qualify, it's where you finish. And Austin looks like at the moment we'll be seeing Barney first.
5 to go here as Austin crosses the line. And I'll say watch that gap with AJ, because AJ has been slowly closing that gap down. He had it down to about 4/10 at one point, and you can see it's starting to close again. It's kind of fluctuating there around the half a second mark. So I think AJ, with 5 laps to go, might try to go on a run here and try to settle this out, but he's running out of a lot of time. He needs to find that NOS button. He needs to find that boost. He needs to drop the marbles out of the footwell, whatever he can do to find that little bit of extra pace. Because AJ, you got 4 laps to go this time by, and at this point, if you're gonna take this Rochester Hills number 11 to a win, you need to do it now. You can't wait until a final lap pass. I wouldn't recommend it, at least. And you can see just how hard they're fighting the car. Look at this. Look at this. AJ getting swirly. Austin a little swirly, but it does look like they're just driving the wheels off these things.
My lights are flickering like crazy. Electricity is going crazy, but thanks for battery backup and UPSs. Otherwise, it'd be crashing right now into the fence. AJ's not going to, but AJ's giving it everything he possibly can. Little switcher at the background there between Brandon and Ian. So Brandon's, Ian's allowed Brandon to go through there and say, okay, go on there. But look at this, AJ doing everything he possibly can. Austin Smith, it's smooth operator sailing that machine. It looks like at some point he's reeling in. AJ feels like he's reeling in that fish, and of course then Austin's just flapping his fins there and just escaping him, and my electricity is going out at the moment too, but thankfully I've got UPS back up.
AJ here going in. I mean, man, he's trying. He is driving the wheels off this thing. He's got good runs out of 4. We're 2 to go here. So, Biggles, hopefully your battery backup can hold on for a couple more laps of action here on the JP Broadcasting Network and go through. AJ, man, come on. Keep it on the lines. I want to see you challenge. I want to see AJ get up there and try to push a challenge forward for the win.
Oh, don't worry about it. I have 2 big car batteries to handle this situation. So I've got an hour and change. And there's Barney waving the white flag for the 23 machine. If Austin can hold on for one more lap of the Atlanta Motor Speedway, which he looks like he's definitely going to be able to do it, the hometown boy there from Burlington will get the job done. Even a little power slide there, doesn't matter. He can lose a little bit of time. Well, I'd have to say, impressive 23 machine. Well, go back to Michael Jordan. He'd be even proud, wouldn't he? Would be proud right now. Michael Jordan's actually tweeting, go 23 again on top.
23 on top here. Comes across for the win. AJ, great battles there from our pole sitter, but ends up with P2. Brandon Sanfilippo, P3. Ian Campbell will come across in 4th. Brandon Puffenbarger in 5th. And the drivers continue to cross the start-finish lines here and go through. But, man, those were some good battles all the way through top to bottom. I mean, there was no shortage of action anywhere on the track that I could find, but Austin Smith take a bow and enjoy a little push there from Ian. And number 5, Brandon Puffenbarger coming up for a little congrats slide. There's Andrew Teft, the, of course, man responsible for organizing all of these with a little door bang there. Just a nice little coast of congrats. And now, can that number 20 get up there fast enough? Can he get up there fast enough for a little congratulatory tap? There it is. The tap on the back, that is the well-played GG's. And now, number 23, Austin Smith. The track is yours for the required Victor's Burnouts.
There you go. Going yet, no return to sender at the moment, my friend. Those tires are available to burn out as much as you can at the Atlanta Speedway, and you'll do it in absolute style. Even though I'm half in electricity and half out of electricity, but you are not half into this race win or half out of it. Results come out for you right now.
And Austin Smith, you see him in the background making sure that car goes back with no tires on it. Midwest Motorsports representative winning in that number 23. AJ Cawthon started on pole, gave it a big battle, but in the end, half a second off the win. P2, Brandon Sanfilippo. We watched a lot of good battles from Brandon there. 3rd place, Ian Campbell in 4th. Brandon Puffenbarger will be 5th place. John Schollenbacher, 6th. Andrew Teft, P7. Dennis Kane. Corey Crowell, who I thought had a good run for the win and then couldn't get those tires with 12 to go. And Kinsley Smith, 9th and 10th, respectively, in the same situation. Matthew Jarrett, P11. Joshua Neal, P12. Truth Hoke, P13. And Sean Merriman not starting this event. Good race there.
Yeah. I guess we have to have a bit of a yarn with the drivers, as I hope everybody out there in the chat will. Actually, I think my electricity's back. I think my light in my room just exploded from the excitement of this race. Austin Smith, you owe me one light bulb, my dear friend. You've blown it away here at Atlanta.
Austin Smith, very, very good run there from the Racers Elite. Let's see if we can get Austin Smith here in the booth and have just a quick little convo with Austin and see how things are going. How's that sound to you?
Sounds grand to me. What about the chat? Austin? You get Austin? Should be a mandatory requirement.
Mandatory requirement if you are me. Austin, welcome to the booth yet again. We've talked to you once today, but now we can talk to you as the winner here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. How's it feel?
Oh man, it feels great. That was fun. That was a handful for sure, but good race.
So, tire strategy. Talk to me about it for a second. You pitted with those tires and absolutely managed to take off with it. What was your thoughts? Did you save some extra tires there? What'd you do to make sure that you had tires at 12 to go?
Yeah, so my original strategy was to try to go about 26, 27 laps each stop because I had 4 sets of tires, so that would kind of evened it out perfectly. And then the last caution came out on 75, and I was thinking that there was going to be one more caution at least, so I didn't pit there and save one for the end, and thankfully we had the caution at the end that allowed me to get around Corey and Kinsley.
Good run. And then you built up a bit of a gap there on AJ. Whoo, can't talk. So what was it? What were you doing? Were you doing a lot of mirror driving to try to just make sure you kept AJ at a good distance behind, or just head forward, foot forward, and don't think about what's behind you?
Yeah, I was really trying not to look in the mirror. I was doing a lot more timing and scoring watching. I saw he was at one point up to 0.6 of a second back, and then he was creeping in. He was 0.5, and then 0.4, and then all of a sudden in the last like 2 or 3 laps, he had fallen back off, which helped. So I guess I was mirror driving in a way, but really trying not to see what he was doing and just hit my line.
Nice, nice. Biggles, any questions for our race winner?
If I unmute myself for a second there, Austin Smith, I mean, you're battling out the other Smith, of course, and we were saying we're not related, of course, to yourself and Kensley for much of that race. But strategy was the call, wasn't it? Strategy was the call, because when you had the best boots in town, they were made for walking, and you walked over the other drivers. Is that something you were definitely confidence with at that point? When you're like, all right, here we go. You know, they were on older boots. You just slice through them like butter. And you got to remember, you're slicing through drivers that are quick.
Yeah, I did not feel good about this race when we were in practice. I felt like I couldn't figure it out, and it was just so loose. But I felt like towards the middle of the race, I was starting to figure it out and just put those left side tires on that first seam, and that just seemed to give me a little bit extra grip to kind of get me around everybody. So it was a lot of fun, though. Good race. Shout out to AJ for putting pressure on me at the end there. Yeah, it was fun.
Going back to that one real quick, because we'll speak to AJ in a little bit. You saw him bit into the first turn, hitting the loud pad a little too loud. At that point too, you were leading I think you were leading for majority of this race, if I was mistaken. And then, but what's with your race restarts, my friend? Like, I mean, have the scrutineers there gone down there and checked your car for extra a little bit of nitrous or gasoline or something that you had? Because you were rocketing in every race start.
Yeah,
Restart.
it seemed like you actually had to go slower to go faster. It seemed like a lot of people were just hammering the throttle right away, and then they'd break the tires loose. And what I would do is I just roll into the throttle easy, and then for whatever reason that would put me out to the lead right away. And clean air was king there. It really helped.
Man, great race all the way through from you there, Austin. 30 seconds, floor is yours. Anyone you want to thank? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, thank you guys for the broadcast. Racers Elite for putting on this fun series. It's always a good time on Saturday nights to run with these guys. Shout out to Midwest Motorsports for helping each other. I think we had a good team finish there, so shout out to those guys.
Do you use the last question. Do you use the Milwaukee tools?
I do at times, yes.
I was gonna say, 'cause I don't know if that's actually related to that, but yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, I like my Milwaukee tools because I don't live too far from Milwaukee, so.
Oh, there you go.
Kind of shout out to my hometown.
Yeah, where is it, by the way, too? Just let everybody know. Burlington.
Burlington.
Yep. I have never been there, my friend, but I tell you what, 23 machine, you got to give me a shotgun ride there one day. Good job.
Jump on in, let's go.
Oh, thank you very much, Austin. Appreciate your time, and congrats on the win, man.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, and that's our race winner, Austin Smith. It doesn't look like we have P2 hanging around to get a quick interview in there with AJ. I'd love to hear AJ talk about kind of the pace, what AJ was doing for the speed, but we do have P3 in, Brandon Sanfilippo. And Brandon, welcome to the booth here. It's Brad and Biggles. How you copy?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Brandon, kind of talk to us just about your race a little bit. Sort of tell me, what was your strategy? What was your plan? Did things go completely haywire? How do you feel about your performance today?
So those Gen 4 cars, it's a combination. I'm not quite sure, but definitely a lot slicker out there. So less downforce than your next gen cars and a little bit lighter. So it's almost like being on ice out there, even with fresh tires. So the strategy was just to try to save those tires, because on the back half of those stretches, it would pay dividends big time. 1 and 2 was high, 3 and 4 was mid, and then the mid started to come in 1 and 2 later on in the race, and I think that's where I kind of stalled out from catching first and second. But it was all about saving the tires, not getting on the gas, and the restarts were pure ice.
We saw, you started there P2, so you had a very, very good view of what happened to AJ at the race start. Were you afraid of having that happen to yourself?
Big time, big time. Yeah, I just feathered the gas. I started in second gear, and honestly, I probably could have started in third, and done a little bit better, but that's not something that I wanted to test out in the middle of a race. So, yeah, there's one. I think maybe it was the last restart. I spun the tires a little bit and kind of lost some track position there at the beginning, and then kind of got held up from the other two. But Austin was fast tonight. I don't think I would have caught him. So awesome race to him.
Awesome. Biggles, any questions here for our P3 driver, Brandon?
No, I was trying to look back at the replay of that last green flag race at the end. You can look at yourself basically in P4. You can see a gaggle of cars up the road there. So I'd have to say you had a little tangle the fence a couple of times there too, Brandon. But you made the Hot Wheels stick. Made me feel like I'm a little kid playing in the playground again with the Hot Wheels machine. So yeah, credit to that. You took the speed on the high line there. And then once you got over, as you said, that little that little gingerly throttle application process, bingo, my friend, you got yourself on a P3.
Yeah, definitely hit the wall a couple times there, and that slowed me up. Definitely the first half of the race. So it was, like I said, it was on ice. I mean, that was part of the fun of it, though.
The Wall seemed to have a lot of friends this race. Are you and the Wall planning on continuing to meet after this race? Or are you all going to, maybe go out to dinner, see a movie?
Yeah, I don't know. We usually leave it in the racetrack and end it on the racetrack. But, I mean, this league is awesome. It's a bunch of good guys. We communicate really well. Everybody's friendly. People make mistakes. We're not professional drivers. So there's definitely grace out there. And it gets heated at times, understandably, but extremely fun and respectful league.
I mean, Brandon, you got a 5-star Uber ready for me any day of the week, the way you're driving around that track. So congratulations, my dear friend.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And Brandon, anyone else you want to thank? Anything else you want to say before we let you go and we round out this Saturday night being quite all right?
Sure. Got some faithful viewers out there. Shout out to my parents, mom and dad, my brother, my girlfriend Lindsay for letting me do this, cutting the honey-do list out on nights like this. My brother Mike, my Aunt Frostine, cousin John, cousin Joe, Uncle David. Got a bunch of people out there watching almost every week, so I appreciate them.
Awesome. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be your P3
One last
finisher.
question.
Go ahead.
And I want to give it to the caster, of course, to pronounce your surname correctly. There's fireworks even for that one. Go ahead. Come on.
Wait,
pronounce your
said
surname.
one last question.
No.
Brandon Sanfilippo?
Brandon, is that correct, sir?
Yes, Sanfilippo.
Oh, there you go. Hey, there you go. Bingo. Good job.
Yeah, I appreciate
it. And people say Americans can't pronounce surnames.
That's right. Most people pronounce it Sanfilippo, but it's Sanfilippo.
Sanfilippo. Wow. Fantastic.
I might interchange it back or forth a little bit here and there, Brandon. Depends on how excited I am. But Sanfilippo.
Hey, I take no offense. I appreciate y'all. Y'all do an awesome job.
Thank you, Brandon. And P3 finisher Brandon Sanfilippo doing a great, great job there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Biggles, looking at our results once again, 13 gladiators entered. And in the end, it was Austin Smith who proved to be the victor of them all with the Milwaukee Tools, putting together that Midwest Motorsports car with a great run against AJ and coming out on top.
That's it. Wrap it up, my dear friend, because more motor racing to come. This fantastic Racers Elite Mixed Series there. Whatever the car can spin around a track, they have it. How do you follow them? Of course, racerselite.com. And talk to the man himself, that Andrew Teff, that got right up there, didn't he? In and out of the mix there. Got as close as P3, I believe, there. But hit him up with a DM then and say, Mr. Andrew Teff, I'd like to race with you in this fantastic series.
Absolutely. Coming up next week, 23rd of December, New Hampshire Motor Speedway NASCAR Wheel and Modifieds. Chef's Kiss, beautiful car track combo, if you're asking me. But of course, Racers Elite coming around in 7 days' time. And here on the JP Broadcasting Network, we'll bring you all the action. On behalf of Mr. Biggles, my name is Brad, and we will see you on the next broadcast.